Today, we are talking about the EURUSD as it rallies big here in the Asia session through New York. So I'm going to have the details in today's video on the key levels to watch, some scenarios to look out for here over the coming days, a potential short if we do get a pullback, and also the latest on the DXY. So you're going to have the complete trade plan in today's video. Now, if you guys want my help with your trading, including seeing my trades live, VIP-only videos, and also full access to Discord and also the course. So it's all real-time chat in Discord. And by the way, we just got a full revamp in Discord. So everything has been changed. We have new categories. We have new channels. Everything has been completely overhauled. So you're going to get access to that. You're going to get access to the course and also any future updates. See the link in the description of this video for 85% off lifetime access. If you're on the website, click on that join VIP link. And by the way, guys, I am in Discord every single day helping out members in real time. So this isn't something where I'm going to hand you a course or hand you, a group to be involved in and not be around. I am in there every single day. Okay, looking at the EURUSD 4-hour time frame. So obviously the market is up big here on Thursday, but the question is this the bottom for the euro or is this just another lower high? And let's start here with talking about the high time frames, okay? Because what tends to happen is you get a big move like this. People look at the 30-minute time frame or hourly or 15-minute and think, man, this is a big move here. This is the bottom. And the issue there is, this is why multiple time frame analysis is so important, because when you go to the daily time frame, right, this has been a series of lower highs and lower lows. So ever since back here, ever since this September high, you can see where the EURUSD has been putting in lower high after lower high, right? So we also obviously have lower lows as well along the way. So right now, with the market trading where it is still technically in a downtrend, okay? Now, we also have this resistance area here that the market is coming into, and this is going to be critical for the euro. We also have some single prints here, inefficiencies that got printed during this breakdown. So what you'll notice here, if we go to a 4-hour time frame, what you'll notice right back here is during this breakdown, okay, we've got the lows back here. So right around 115.50 or so, you can see we've got these lows through here. We've also got this low. The market broke down, never tested this area. So we have those inefficiencies up here just below 115.50 or right there in that area. So right now with where the euro is, I do think that a sweep of this area is likely. Now, you can also see where if we go to an hourly time frame, okay, we had an unfinished auction that we discussed in recent videos off of this high. These tend to serve as magnets. They tend to get swept by markets. And you can see where that was certainly the case here today on Thursday. Now, we do have those two single prints just above this mark. So we'll see if that gets taken out here over the coming days. But really, guys, for me, the way I'm looking at this right now is that, first of all, like I said, we do have the euro in an established downtrend. Okay, so until that changes, until we get, higher highs and higher lows, right, we are in a downtrend. We also have the market coming into resistance here. So in my opinion, first and foremost, you don't want to be a buyer here. At least that's just my opinion, not financial advice. But I think trying to buy this market right now, coming into resistance here, and also with that downtrend is pretty ill-advised. Now, as far as shorts, though, let's talk about that for a moment, because what tends to happen here is people see areas like this here, this resistance area, and you've got these single prints up here in this region. And, yes, this is going to be resistance. However, instead of blindly shorting from here, because we don't know if we get a retest up here, we don't know if that is going to be respected, right? We don't know if we're going to get the rotation lower again from there, or if we get maybe a short-term rejection, and then we see buyers step in at the November open, which, by the way, the market is technically above here on the 4-hour time frame, right? If we get that, then we could just blow right through it. So instead of doing that, what you're really looking for here, okay, is a change in structure. And what that means is a change in the highs and lows. So if we look at something like the 30-minute time frame, you can see this here, right? So obviously sellers are stepping in here today. However, again, this isn't really enough to take a short, at least not for me. So what I need to see is acceptance back below the November open. Now, this right here wasn't enough. And the reason for that is you look at the highs and lows here, right? Within this short-term uptrend, you can see we have higher highs and higher lows, okay? So this has not changed. If we just take a level here, right? I'm going to take a trend line here and snap it to some of these lows here. What you'll notice is, again, we just have the market basically stair-stepping higher here on Thursday. Okay, so there really is no short, even though the market is coming into some of that resistance. So what you need to see happen here is the market get back below here, ideally on the 4-hour time frame, really the daily, and then also take out this low, okay? If we see that, then that would be the first low taken out within this Asia session rally that is extended into New York. Okay, so if we get the move below here, then you've got that change in structure. Then you're looking for shorts up here against that November open, okay? So that's how I'm looking at that. Right now, if we do get the rotation lower, if this downtrend does continue, I'm looking for shorts. I am interested in that, but I need that confirmation first. Just coming into resistance here is not enough for me. Okay. So again, guys, if you want my help with your trading, in Discord, I talk about this all day long in real time. So if you want my help with this, as far as setups and also what I'm doing with these setups, then be sure to join us there in Discord. See that link in the description. So again, markets in a downtrend, we are holding below resistance. Also range bound here for the past few months. That's also important to keep in mind here. So we could see the euro bottom out, here in the near term over the coming, let's say, days and weeks, but we don't have enough information because we have those lower highs and lower lows. Furthermore, we also have that single print at 1.1440. Let's not forget about that. This is an important one from back here in this area because we saw the euro sweep this low. We saw it hold as resistance. We saw that expansion back above here, or displacement, as a lot of traders call it. And that right there, guys, we have not seen the market come into this area. Now we have here recently, but we still have that inefficiency off of the start of this rally back here in August, July really. Or no, wait, this was the beginning of August, I think, actually. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit tripped up here, guys. That was August 1st. So August 1st, we do have the single print down here at 114.40, okay? So the point here is that we still have some, what's called unfinished business, or that's what I call it anyway, down here at 114.40. We have the market in a downtrend holding below resistance, but in my opinion, if you're looking for that short, really what you need to see happen is you need to see sellers take control here and forcibly push the market back below this low, okay, right now. Now, if we get the market coming up here and taking out this area here, carving a higher high, then carving a new low, then this becomes the area where you need to see that break of structure and then form the retest for that push down here into 114.80 or so, okay? So that is what I'm looking at, guys. Right now, it's a waiting game to see what this market does, waiting for that structure to form up here and just kind of see what happens there with those single prints. Now, looking at the DXY, looking at the daily time frame here, we do have the market breaking out of this descending channel that we discussed here for the past few weeks. And we also have it rejecting now from 100.25. So this was a significant level up here because like the euro, we had this candle, which was very aggressive. We saw a very shallow retrace. We had this inefficiency up here in this region. So it was always likely that the DXY was going to come up here and tag this region, which we did here recently. And furthermore, off of this high, 100.25, this was also what's called a poor high or unfinished auction, which these tend to get swept, and you can see that here so far this week. Okay, so all stuff that I've discussed here in recent videos. If we go to a 4-hour time frame, you can see where this initial retest here, right, built the liquidity above it. We had that buy-side liquidity, the market took that out, and then we got the reversal. So no surprise we're seeing the DXY, the US dollar index, rotate lower from that 100.25 resistance area. Now, what's going to be key for the dollar, though, is going to be these lows through here, also that November open, right around 99.75. So far, key support, right? Now, if we see the market dip below here, so looking at the hourly time frame, if we were to see something like this, right? Because like the euro, we have, looking back here at the euro, they tend to move inversely to one another, obviously. So you've got these inefficiencies up here just above the current price. So what we could get here from the DXY, if we see the euro come up here and tag these areas, then what we could see from the DXY is potentially a dip below these lows back here, okay? Now, what this is going to come down to, like the euro with those lows that we talked about, if you look at these highs and lows during this rally, okay, what we have here is a very nice stair-step rally, right? We have these higher lows. Now, this was kind of the first breakdown that we saw here from the DXY. This was the first change in structure that we've seen here from the DXY on Thursday. So if we get a rally from here, there's a good chance that this area up here is going to serve as resistance and we could get that rotation lower from there. Now, alternatively, what we could get, okay, if the euro moves up there to tag those inefficiencies around 115.50, is we could see the DXY take out these lows back here because, mind you, these are essentially equal lows back here from the DXY. So we know that there is liquidity building below here, or really technically above the Euro USD on those highs, right, on the euro. So with these lows here, we could see the DXY drop below here. But then if we get that reclaim, right, and then the market does something like this and starts to carve higher highs and higher lows, then we could get that pushback here into this resistance area. Okay, but really the key here is going to be that November open around 99.75 for the DXY. So if you're looking for longs here, I think, in my opinion, not financial advice, but the best way to go about this is going to be to see a sweep of these lows. That is the ideal scenario here. Get a sweep of those lows, get a reclaim of those lows, form that lower high, okay, within this series, and then you get the market consolidating a bit here, taking out that high, and then this right here becomes your buy, okay? So same thing for the euro, basically just the inverse of that, but that's what I'm looking at now for the DXY. Now, to recap too, what we talked about in recent videos, in terms of the single prints down here, because you can also see where this market has been moving within this ascending channel. Now, there are a few ways to draw this. This is the downside of diagonal levels like this. But if we were to draw it here, you can see where, I mean, really the top of this came very close to the top of that channel. So this down here, okay, could serve as a quote unquote magnet for the US dollar, because 99.3, this general area, we have these two inefficiencies on the way up, okay? So the reason these are inefficiencies here is because on the way up for the DXY, you can see that if we go to a 30-minute time frame, turn on TPO, and look back here, the reason that these form, okay, is these blocks right here show you this is the market profile. So these are 30-minute blocks. This is a single block. This is a single block. A single block just means that the market moved through this area very quickly and it's thinly traded. Markets love to revisit these areas because markets are essentially liquidity-seeking machines, right? That's what they're designed to do. And when you get a market blowing through an area like this very, very quickly, and you get that thinly traded area, this tends to become a magnet for the market to revisit this to essentially activate that liquidity, right? Markets want as much liquidity in play as possible. That is the name of the game. And so areas like this tend to be revisited. Okay, so I know I'm getting a little bit carried away here in some of the teachings of all this, but hopefully this is helping you guys kind of put some structure to your trading and really kind of understand what's happening here with these markets. Okay, now obviously if we see the DXY come down here and tag these areas, then for the euro, that could mean the market moving above areas like this back here. Okay, and one thing to keep an eye on if, and this is a big if, and I'll finish up with this, but if the DXY does break below this November open, whether we get the rally first or not, if we come back here toward 99.3, maybe even a bit lower, then what that could mean for the Euro USD, look at the monthly time frame. Let's move in here because what you'll notice is that back here, okay, let's focus on this low from September. So we have this low up here, okay, and we also have the market trading in October well below that, right? We got the close well below that low, and right now the market is trading down here. So what do you notice about this low here and this area? So first of all, this is the September low, right? This is technically what a lot of traders call a fair value gap, call it what you want. Basically, this is, serves the same purpose, right? It's an inefficiency in the market. Now, if we take a look here at the 1 hour time frame, you can also see where we have a poor high unfinished auction up here in this area. We also have another inefficiency here with that single print. So we're combining TPO terms, ICT, if that's what you want to call it, price action, etc. And, we're putting this all together to the point where we have that September low, that inefficiency up here. We also have those TPO single prints and also poor highs or unfinished auctions. So the point here, guys, is this is going to be a level by level market. And I think that the only way that this becomes a short here for the euro is, like I said before, if we get that break of structure, if the market, puts in higher highs and higher lows, and then it finally breaks, below a low with conviction, and then we get that pullback. But until that time, there is no short here for me because, again, the market could just blow through areas like this up here and come back there and tag that September low, okay? So nothing for me to do right now. I will be updating VIP members in Discord, though, in real time if something changes and I do take a trade. So be sure to join us in there. Check out that link in the description, guys. Trade well, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.